Okay, chapter 24 is about monopoly. Monopoly is will have the most market power that we will see. Remember, market power is the ability to alter market prices by altering your supply. They have market power. The reason for that is that they're the entire curve. The entire supply curve is represented by what the monopoly produces. So they do have market power. They have a downward sloping demand curve. And these are important things. In pure competition, we saw that they could sell all they wanted at the going rate because they were all insignificant. In a monopoly, that's not the case. If I want to increase the quantity I sell, because I have a downward sloping demand curve, I am forced to reduce price. That is something that monopolies have to live with. Now, marginal revenue was equivalent to price when we looked at pure competition. That's not the case in monopoly. In monopoly, the MR is always less than price. And it comes from the way we calculate marginal revenue. Remember, marginal revenue is the change in total revenue associated with the last unit. In order to sell more, I constantly have to be reducing price. Because of that, my MR curve comes down through here. It is always less than P. So as long as that curve is a downward sloping curve, MR will always be inside of that. Now what's the profit maximizing rule of monopoly? Again, it's where MR equals MC. We saw in the last chapter that the supply curve will represent the marginal cost curve. They intersect here. So what you will see is the monopoly will follow that up where that point is, and they will set supply at this point. The way that works, if you're looking at it from a consumer perspective, is you will see a lower output. They've reduced the quantity and effectively raised the price. That's the profit maximizing process that a monopoly will use. And that's what you'll see. Now, why is this able to happen? It comes back to this barriers to entry. In a purely competitive market, what we kept seeing was that supply curve shifting out. The reason for that, there were no barriers. People could get in and out of the market very easily. Monopoly, that's not the case. They can keep people out. And by being able to do that, they control the entire supply and can actually push it back in. Those barriers to entry are the obstacles that are set up. And we'll go over those later in this chapter. There's a couple of other things that are there for a monopoly that we need to be focused on. This is their profit maximizing rule, where MR equals MC. But because price is less than price is greater than their marginal revenue, MR is down here. The behavior you'll see in monopolies is a cut in supply with an increase in price. So, that's the first section of what the monopoly chapter is about. It talks about just these things. We still have the short run decisions, the production decision. But that production decision ends us at a new point because of the way things are calculated. They are the ultimate example of market power and high barriers. They're a firm. There's one firm in a monopoly. They produce the entire supply, and there are no close substitutes. Monopolies would be things like your natural gas company, your electric company, things for which there are no substitutes. You either use it or you do without. Things of that nature are what are considered monopolies. And we're going to talk about further in this chapter what makes monopoly power, what constrains monopoly power, and why monopolies think they should be able to live, and counter arguments to that. And that'll all come up in the next section.